Okay, so this is a video differentiating between subjective and objective. So I have this, discussions in the comments and stuff like that, and people don't necessarily understand what I'm saying, so I want to make a video kind of clarifying it. So subjective and objective, how it relates to what I'm doing in videos and online reviews is I avoid the term review, specifically because people don't know it can be interpreted, that term can be interpreted in a wide variety of ways. Review could be considered an unboxing, or it could be considered an overview, or a purely subjective opinion. Usually if you were to read or go to like movie review websites, it's pure subjective opinion. So I use this example quite often. You watch a movie, you love the movie, absolutely love everything about it. Then you go look at the reviews on that particular movie, and then people are just trashing it and talking about how bad it is. But that's their perception. That has absolutely no bearing on your perception. Now it can be if you allow it to be. So same thing with the car videos. If I see this in the comments quite a bit, where if they watch a video and somebody says something they're sharing their opinion, then that they assume that that's just kind of fact, because it's kind of presented that way in these videos. So I see this a lot, and I've mentioned this before. The hard plastics in vehicles, they're like, well, if it's a hard plastic, instant negative thing, or instant cheap thing, or whatever, right? So this is their opinion. Now what they probably need to do, if they want to be more objective with it, and say, okay, well, this is this particular style of plastic, this is the mix ratio of it, and this is why it's not good for this particular application. Maybe if it's material that's on the dashboard and it's not very good at heat resistance or something like that, or if it's just whatever, maybe a hard plastic steering wheel or something, something that they need to go into more detail instead of just throwing it out. Say, well, this is cheap hard plastic, therefore bad. And it's just an assertion based on their own opinion, and from my perspective would be based on very little information, or basically ignorance on the subject, because plastics are very reformulated to be precisely perfect for that particular application, in every part of the vehicle. So it's not like they just willy-nilly melt down toys and cheap plastics like that and just mold it into the part and slap it on there. No, these plastics are specifically calibrated and measured in for their qualities that they're trying to achieve in that specific application. So a hard plastic is good for resisting moisture. It's also easy to clean. It's there could be some flexibility there. It's not going to, if you were to hit it with something, say like a soft material, you can kind of puncture it, but if you were to rub against something on a hard plastic, you kind of tend to slide and maybe scratch instead of having that puncture hole, just stuff like that. So it depends on the application, depends on where it is in the vehicle, whether it's in the direct sunlight, whether it's actually being touched, oils on your hands, okay? And certain plastics will have a porous material, porous portion of it, so the oils in your hands get in there and you can't clean it off, stuff like that. So I try in my videos to be objective, so I'll just show you what it is, and you make up your mind on how it matches your needs, right? So if you're partial to, if you like a particular style, or if you like a particular size, or if you like a particular color, all these things are your preferences, and there's all the people on earth, that's how many different perceptions there is. So let's just go right here to subjective. This is based on or influenced by personal feelings, taste, or opinion, which is different as everybody human being on earth. So when they throw in feelings, taste, opinions in the video, on a review video, that's why I don't use the term review, because so many people do that. This is not very helpful in my case. I try to stick to objective. So this is an objective video, is showing respect for the audience in which they can decide for themselves. I don't have to tell them or influence. This is my attempt is not to influence personal feelings or opinions. My attempt is to show and allow you to make up your own mind. So that's my whole intention anyway. I mean, I'll say I like this particular thing or whatever, but it's not like this is good, this is bad, this is great, and compared to that, this is better, because it depends on everybody's needs. There's costs and there's benefits, and I'm not talking about monetary costs here. I'm talking about costs of legroom. So if you have, let's say you're a tall person, right? Then the cost of having a smaller legroom area, you may not want to deal with that cost, right? And it's not monetary. It's the cost. The benefits are, if you have adequate legroom, then you're more comfortable, right? But if you're a smaller person, you're short or whatever, then having all that legroom is a detriment, is a cost now to you. So now you have to pull the seat all the way up, and maybe it just doesn't feel right or whatever. So having more or less legroom is a cost for some people and a benefit for other people. So even when you look at it that way, cost and benefits of specific features, cost and benefits of actual monetary, costs relative to the benefits of your vehicle, all these things are your decision, not mine. So just want to throw that out there. Objective versus subjective. People blur it all the time in the comment section. They blur it all the time in videos. They blur it all the time in just about every aspect of life, not just car videos. But so I wanted to have a little talk about this and make sure that I'm hopefully explaining my position on what my intention is anyway. And I'm not. See, when somebody goes on my channel and they start saying, "No, this thing is bad," or "This is a piece of crap," especially when they're very hysterical and using vulgar language, it's like, that's your opinion, and then they support their opinion with other people's opinions. So that tells me that they don't really have, they're just basically going on and adapting other people's opinion, and they're not really thinking for themselves. And that happens a lot, so that's where the person who's making the video needs to make sure that it's best, I think anyways, if they were to try to stick to objective facts and try to convey the information objectively, and that way they're not pushing and pulling people's opinions and influencing them to make a decision that may not be in their best interest. So take a little bit of responsibility for the content that you're putting out there. And of course, the people need to take responsibility for what they're receiving and how they're perceiving it and how they're applying it to their decisions and their life. So anyways, there's a whole bunch of this could go on forever because it's a big topic and it branches out into so many different things in our life. But I just want to kind of highlight and talk about this because it's a big deal to me. I mean, it can when you're pushed and pulled and influenced by other people, when you don't really understand what when they don't even understand their intention, and they're just kind of throwing stuff around, and it influences you to make decisions that are not in your best interest. Not good. So anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.